Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Katrina Rasmold and Friends. And I'm here with one of my favorite people to ever have a show with, and that's internationally recognized and certified psychic, tarot reader, author, so many other things, empath, Corbie Mitleid. Hi,
Hi,
Corbie.
babe. Hello, darling, from New York.
I love when I'm working specifically with you and Dahlia because I have shared screen with the two of you so many times that it's like just slipping into a comfortable bath.
Right.
There's it's just all fun and games, so I love it. Thank you for
Yep.
being here.
Like recording in your jammies.
It is, and sometimes I do. So,
That's okay.
it is. So, in case anybody's interesting, I will link our first two interviews in the descriptions. You'll also be able, because if you haven't seen her before, you're going to absolutely fall in love with Corbie. You'll be able to find links there for where you can connect with her because there's so much to offer because you're a busy lady lately.
Have been. Once I went from just being Corbie to the no bullshit psychic, everybody loves that because they have all run into the glurpy purple types or the life is terrible and I'm going to let you know why. And it's like, hello, we're here. Don't be an ass. Grab your beard. Let's talk about things.
So you're doing a number of different things on your TikTok and on your Patreon. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Sure. There's always, of course, a weekly reading, but I don't just use one deck. I have my tarot deck and 7 oracle decks. And usually I'll pull one card from each. So it's a mulligatawny soup of a reading. But sometimes the Ganesh deck will say, I want to take it. Or the Fairies Oracle will say, they need a kick in the pants. We'll do it. Um, Tonight, as a matter of fact, it's Wednesday night. After this, I'm going to go do Cafe Corbie, which is just an hour. Like we're sitting around at the pub with a beer, and it's what I call a teaching hour. And I tell people, this is how you know the question you're asking is the right. It's the right place. We talk about metaphysics, spirituality, psychic stuff. If you ask me a question, and my answer is going to be interesting to everybody else listening, that's tonight. You're asking a personal question about your life alone, that's on Thursday night because that's when I do the free reading hour.
Got it.
And I'm doing on the 19th on Zoom for the TikTokers a meditation about finding calm in the dark. I've got like 100 places. I think I have maybe 15 left, and I'm doing it for free because these people are scared about what's going on, what's coming down the pike. So to me, part of my responsibility as an elder and a teacher is to give them this to hold on to. I can't fix their lives, but I'll hand them a tool.
I
So,
love it. Do you remember the first time that you had an awareness that you're an elder and a teacher?
um, I've always been some kind of a teacher, but an elder is I really began feeling it in my 60s
Agreed.
and
Me too.
realized there are puppies here. And I even started a book called Elder and Apprentice, but never got to finish it because the lovely, lovely person that I was working with was a teenager and she went off to do other things. But it's in the back and it hasn't been canned. It's just on the back burner. And if I find the right people to work with on that,
Yeah.
which
Huh?
means my Gen Zs and Gen Alphas,
Yeah.
then I would do it. Because that we've got to teach. Now we're beginning to teach the Gen X's, but I've written an article called "Be an Elder, Not a Boomer," because we're dropping like flies, guys. What we learned was a different planet. It doesn't work for this one now.
Right on.
So
Very true. That's something that I've seen a lot of the elders in our Sacramento community make the mistake of doing is they criticize a lot of the things that the new generation's doing because they're not doing it the same way that they did. And this isn't the same world, not by a long shot.
Mm-mm.
So you have to adapt. It has to be different.
When you and I went to high school, we were not afraid of being shot.
True.
We were not afraid of being ripped out of our cars and sent to a concentration camp. We
Mm-hmm.
believed that we could get a job and
Mm-hmm.
make enough money to have a house. And we weren't worried that we couldn't get health insurance. Every single thing that we relied on is now impossible in this country.
That's true.
And until America is cleaned, humbled, chastened, and rebuilding itself to be what it kept telling us it was,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to have that.
One of the things that's tough is a lot, I say we, meaning a lot of people in our generation are not making the necessary changes for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Internet for I'm sorry, nationally.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's we start to think things like, well, the next generation is going to have to be the ones to make those changes, but we're teaching them that those changes can't happen
That's
through
right.
the inaction. And it's just this big Ouroboros of the self-consuming snake.
You know, it's the rules that I tell people how to be an elder, not a boomer. Number one, get off the stage. You know, they show these 70, 80-year old, Keith Richards still rocking. That's fine for Keith. But the more we still hog the stage, the less opportunity they have to go find out what they do. We
And what
sh-
happens? I'm sorry, go ahead.
there are a couple. We shut up until we're asked, and we learn to be third trenchers. This is key.
Mm-hmm.
World War I, you had three trenches. You go over the top, then there are the reserves, and then in the back, food, medicine, etc. As a third trencher, if there's going to be a dinner for the homeless in your town, the boomers should be washing the dishes. The kids plan it, talk to social media, get the publicity. You can't hog the spotlight. You're in the back. And boy, is
Mm-hmm.
that hard for boomers.
It is, and it's hard to think about the fact that washing the dishes is so much easier than doing any of the rest of that stuff. The ones that I see, and I felt have fallen into this trap before too, is we're there doing it, insisting and complaining that nobody's doing it, that we're the only ones doing the work. But when they step up and do the work, we aren't happy with how they're doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
so again, it's this big cycle of not wanting to relinquish that power when it's time to do so. I have serious, complete respect for elders, myself, my age, and upward phenomenally. And I'm not saying there isn't value there. There is value there. But there is value in the next generation and the one after that too. And if we don't let them know that they're welcome and appreciated, then they're going to find some other place to feel welcome and appreciated.
And if we gracefully step back when it is their time to be elders, they will know that's what you do. We will not be perpetuating the push me, pull you that is happening now.
Interestingly enough, our generation from the very beginning was really about breaking destructive cycles
Mm-hmm.
and toxic behaviors, generational toxic behaviors, and trying to do and be something different. And I think that just continues through the white tsunami of our the boomers aging out.
Yes, yes. Like there's a hilarious um, insurance commercial, and it's a class teaching you how not to be like your parents. And
Mm.
it's like, no, you don't just put the dishes away. You can leave them on the. And everybody who is of a certain age is going, yes, yes, I know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, our first
mhm.
question of the next eight. So, you've done 16 questions with me.
Okay.
Actually, you did 17 because on our last one, you got thrown the extra question that was added after you had interviewed the first time.
Oh, okay.
So the next 8 questions, the first one is, what is the biggest misconception people have about you?
Interesting. Um, that I'm never afraid, that I have it all together, that, I love my nestlings in Patreon, but they are convinced that I am some warrior queen or something. I don't know. Yes, I get scared. Yes, I can't see all the time. Yes, I have trouble with my own mortality, just like they do. But when you are an elder and you're trying to raise your nestlings, um, you show them what they're capable of. You don't talk about your fears, your anxieties. Um, I remind them I am human too. And just because I don't look 70 and I'm not taking 12,000 drugs doesn't mean I don't look ahead and realize 30 years from now I won't be here, and I hate
Yeah.
that idea. Hate it. So that.
I think something that's really hard that you don't know about until you're in it is that when you're teaching, and I don't mean giving a lecture and walking away, I mean, when you're mentoring,
Mm-hmm.
it's not about you.
That's right.
You're there, you're human, you can be involved, but that experience is not about you. And that knowledge wakes up this insecurity of knowing that there may not be places where it is about you
Mm-hmm.
when we so desperately need that. And when I mentioned our generation, a lot of it is about trailblazing and macheteing our way through the uncharted paths and all that. But part of that uncharted path is that path not having been there for us and us not having that opportunity to be mentored in the way that we needed to be.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Um, so it's hard sometimes for us to mentor others because we didn't want mentors. We were good, but now they need us. They
Yeah.
do. When I say they're swinging back in the other direction, it's not that they're getting, small-minded the way 40s, 50s people, parents were, but they are beginning to realize that you can't keep fighting everything. You have to find things you want to keep.
Yeah.
We didn't really do that. We were too busy, you know.
Yeah. Well, and you can't do both at once, I don't think.
No, you have to stop and then look and see what it is that you want to keep.
Because if you're cutting down weeds and branches and brambles and getting through the wilderness that's so hostile, do you have time to stop and look for the little treasures? Not really.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I'm remembering um, the lyrics from Jefferson Airplane. We're all outlaws in the eyes of America. In order to survive, we steal, lie, cheat, lie, forge, fuck, hide, and deal. We are obscene, lawless, hideous, dangerous, dirty, violent, and young. Well, we're not anymore.
Yeah.
And that won't fly anymore because the world itself is so dangerous.
True
They
story.
have to find safety with each other. But safety doesn't mean cowardly. And for that, I happily point to the frogs and the unicorns in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. So if you could, this is a fun question. So this is not as heavy as the last one.
Okay.
If you could instantly master any new skill without studying, investing time into making it happen, if it just happened and you could do it, what would that skill be?
Does it have to be in the WikiWoo world or just anything in
No,
life?
anything.
Anything? Instantly fluent in German. Been
Nice.
hassling with that for years. I flunked French 4 times, twice in high school, twice in college. But German feels right in the throat to me, partially because when you're doing um, Eastern European accents for plays, their grammar is garbled. Slow Papa understands his head. But the other thing is, I'm sure it feels right because I was German 2 lives ago. So for me, it makes sense.
Sure, sure.
And it's good for our old brains to speak 2 languages. It just
It
is.
is. Mine doesn't. I have no talent for foreign language at all, and that's much to my dismay. But mine would be to learn to play piano.
Mm,
I just want to know how to play piano, and that's the challenge for me.
cool.
So, what specific childhood toy or game brings immediate joy when you think about it?
Beanie the C6 sea serpent.
I'm sorry, what? Did you say Beanie and Cecil?
Yes, Beanie the C6 sea serpent. I
Yes,
had a big stuffed one that fit around my waist, and his head was on my shoulder, and he was my
marvelous.
comfort. I loved him.
I love that. I loved Beanie and Cecil. That was a thing for me. I
Yep.
had a phonograph. You remember the little suitcase record players?
Yes.
I had one of those that was Beanie and Cecil too. That was my prized possession. My mom found it at some thrift store somewhere.
Yeah.
Loved it. Played my little 45s on it.
I was a stuffed animal girl.
I had over 100 dolls, but they were. Did you see the Barbie movie?
Yes.
Okay, so you know Weird Barbie?
Mm-hmm.
Every single doll I owned was Weird Barbie because my dad got them from thrift store dumpsters, and my mom would try her best to spruce them up and use alcohol to get the ink off their faces and make new dresses for them. But they all kind of had that they're gonna snap at any moment look. So I had all these crazy ass looking dolls. Yep. When was this is hard? I would have a hard time with this.
Okay.
When was the last time you did something for the very first time?
That is hard.
Yeah.
Um, I'm looking around my room to see. Um, said no to my brother and meant it and got through to him.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that was just like yesterday.
Ooh, well, that's fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You do not need to know the whole story, but
Nope.
I'm going on this wonderful vacation for 2 weeks in England, and all of a sudden I find out, the first 3 days are with my niece and her husband, and all of a sudden I find out my brother and sister-in-law are also going to be there, um, because they're all going to Cornwall. I'm doing other things,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, well, I'm going to see all of my Maine Coon people.
Mm,
Um, so they're flying at the same time. They were going to be on the plane with me, sit next to me. No. And I just said, I need this time for myself. So they're going to take a different plane. They're going to be on British Airways. I'm on the Virgin. And we'll meet at Heathrow. But I had to. I
good.
had to. For one thing, if the world get that crazy and everybody can't stand America, if they're going to shoot down a plane, it's going to be an American airline. I want to be on a
Mm,
British one. I think that way now. I hate having to do it, but it's just there.
it's there. So this is the only question I have in any of the questions that is even remotely, I wouldn't say negative, but looks at something that's sort of a shadow thing. And that is what small thing, like a pet peeve,
Mhm.
bothers you more than it probably should?
Oh, I have misophonia. You ever heard of it? Misophonia is when there is a certain sound that you hear that you want to backhand them or blow them up. And with me, it's a cat washing himself or somebody chewing loudly.
Okay.
I have learned just get up, leave the room.
I
Just
cannot
leave.
argue any of those points,
Mm-hmm.
nor would I.
And the thing
So,
is, my hearing gets better as I age,
I
not
wish mine
worse.
would.
I probably got what you lost. I
I
can
think you
hear a
did.
whisper the other end of the house.
If I gave it to you, I'm grateful. I can do
Okay.
it.
Okay. Wish I could give you a knee.
Oh, that would be great.
Sorry about
So,
that.
if you could see a statistic
Mm-hmm.
for any one part of your life, things like how many miles have you walked, how many pizzas have you eaten, how many dimes have you picked up off the ground, which one would you choose? What would you want to know?
How many days I was truly happy? Because I'm one of those minds that remembers all the mistakes and all the miseries. That's from the complex PTSD childhood. And part of me thinks I was never happy, which I know isn't quite true. So I would love to have a picture book of those statistics. You were happy on this day and this day and this day, and this
Yeah,
is what happened.
with photographs and illustrated. Yeah, I like that. An
Yes,
illustrated book.
yes, that's what I would want.
That's a good one. What is the best piece of advice you ever received, whether you followed it or not?
Always use the three most important questions. I learned at option. What are you X about? That's your emotion. Why are you X about that? And the question we never ask ourselves, what do I think would happen if I stopped being X about that? Stimulus, belief, response. I learned that from option in 1984. And I have used it all my life since then. I teach it to my clients. It is life changing.
Very nice. What are you currently the most excited about for the future?
Getting there.
Having one, right?
Yes. It's a very strange thing. I always have my year planned. I always have things to look forward to. I have nothing that I can trustfully look forward to now. Everything is
Mhm.
today.
Yeah.
Um, but um, this is part of having seen this when I was 13 in 1968. I know we get through it. It's going to be about 7 years. But I want to make sure that whatever I do for this
Mhm.
is of value,
I love
that
that.
it leaves something behind so that, I mean, we all fade 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years after we're gone. The only people who remember us are like our kids. Um, no,
If they do.
yeah, I mean, nobody remembers my father. People our age that he took care of in Camden, New Jersey as a doctor.
Mhm.
Yeah, they do. But for me, my father is in my mind every day, love, thoughtful. Like I often say, he was my best friend. Um, I want to make sure that when I'm not here, people still remember me because they learned good things from me and I made them laugh. That's what I want for my future. So that's not something you can do as a 1, 3, 5 year plan. That's
Mhm.
what can I do today? What can I do today?
Right. It's a day-to-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrifying how quickly they forget us. Too.
That's our ego talking. That's
Yeah,
our ego talking.
for sure. So now we go into the lightning round. These are
Brussels sprouts.
these are kind. That's not an answer. This is this is kind of a binary thing, an either or thing. So, but feel free to elaborate if you wish.
Okay.
Morning bird or night owl?
Depends on the season.
Oh,
Summer,
I like that.
oh baby, gimme. Night owl is in the winter because there's so much night, you know, and
Hmm.
I get doing things and I have trouble getting to sleep. But in the summer, oh, I'm out there with the birdies.
Nice. Sweet or savory?
Candied bacon?
Oh, the
Can I
king
do
of
that?
worlds.
I know. Actually, probably savory, salt savory,
Mm-hmm.
because sweet can get cloying.
Yeah,
You
you're
can go
right.
to hell and back with popcorn.
There's a lot of different aspects of savory too, whereas sweet's sort of
Yeah,
targeted.
yeah. That's remember, it's sweet, sour, salty, bitter, umami,
Yes,
and that's part of savory too.
right. Call or text.
Who are you? Text
I love
is,
it's
you
a
know,
question of access.
yeah. Um, when it is part of my heart circle, you know, oh, I'll be on the phone with you for hours. But if it's a simple, this is what we need done, text is fine and go on.
Nice. Okay. So presume that you are in a group of people that you completely trust.
Okay.
Would you choose truth or dare?
Truth.
Same.
Because people can dare you and they don't like you. It's a
Mm,
grisha. You know what the word grisha means?
nope.
It's Yiddish. It means you stick in the knife, but you twist it to make sure it's in there good.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
dare can be a grisha.
the people I love and trust could think up some heinous dares for me. So
No, trust. Trust. Because it isn't, let's see if I can make you miserable, embarrassed. It's tell me
hmm
who you truly, truly are, which
nice.
I prefer.
Big party or an intimate dinner?
Well, if the big party is in honor of me, but other than that, intimate dinner, thank you very much.
Mountains or beach?
Beach. I did mountains 2 lives ago when I could ski, but I'm a Pisces. I want my toesies in the sand.
There you go. Comedy or horror?
Comedy. I cannot watch horror at all
I
because
can't
I
either.
have too much of an imagination and I'll
hmm
have nightmares about it.
Forgive or forget?
It has to be forgive. Otherwise, you carry their schmutz in your own soul.
Exactly that. Favorite season of the year?
Probably spring after the mud because the birds, my very favorite birds, the red wings are back.
Ooh, yeah.
Um, the light is more, the colors are vibrant. Remember, we live in the middle of a 12-acre hayfield, so we get the seasons. It used to be fall when I would get excited about things to do in the fall, but these days, no. I need the light, the warmth, the birdies, and the flowers.
One word to describe yourself in high school.
Desperate, trying so hard.
Yeah. What is the best pizza topping?
I'm thinking. I'm actually one of those weirdos that likes Hawaiian, but
I do too.
oh, you do? Oh, then I'm
I
going to say
do.
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian works just fine. I love
But you
Hawaiian
have
pizza.
got to dry out the pineapple so it doesn't peel over the mozzarella and the tomato
Correct.
sauce.
Correct. Favorite scent?
Fresh cut grass.
Nice. That's a good one. What movie can you quote by heart?
Galaxy Quest.
I love that. Favorite board game?
Favorite board game. Um, I don't know if this is a board because you get your separate boards. Does that still count as a board game?
Yep.
Abduction. This is
Okay.
a wonderful new game by Very Special Games. And you have this plastic flying saucer and you stick in a bunch of little ducks and you have your boards and you're supposed to be able to get the ducks in certain ways and you pull cards, time vortex, double abduction, where you can take a duck from somebody else. It's just dumb, but it's a lot of fun.
I love it. Heels, boots, or sneakers? course, my
who
answer is flip flops, but what are you going to do?
when I was younger, baby, I would rock the 4-inch heels with the thigh. No, not with this back. So at this point, it's my ankle boots, happily.
Okay. And one word to describe your mood right now, today, in this moment.
Grateful.
I love that.
I love talking to you. You're
I,
such fun.
I love talking to you too. I'm so glad you're my friend.
Yeah.
So you survived the lightning round and round 3 of questions. I'm so proud of
Wow.
you.
And Brussels sprouts wasn't part of it. How
It
cool is that?
wasn't there, man. I'm sorry.
So now I have one for you. They
Bring
they
it.
had they had a meme a while ago that was, what are the 3 fictional characters that would describe you because of who they are? Now, what I said was, um,
Wait, what'd you say for you or what'd you say for me?
what I would say for me, so you
Okay,
know how
go.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Midge Maisel, um, Stalker Channing in Practical Magic,
Oh, that's really good.
and Martha Levinson, Cora's mom in Downton Abbey, the Shirley MacLaine character.
Oh,
Those are
that's a
my
good
3.
one. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. So let's see. I'm going, see, my brain is hitting films and TV and movies and all of that. I have to go. Okay, I'm sorry. I've got to steal the Stockard Shannon aunt from,
You can share.
yeah, I'll take that. Um, Judy Dench's character in Cranford.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just the old salty kind of observer, I guess you'd
Yes.
say. Yeah, the
Yes.
witness, the witness. Um, who's my other one? I loved um there was an old show called Judging Amy,
Mm-hmm.
and her mother was played by Tyne Daly,
Okay.
and I loved her. And I wanted to be her when I grew up, and I think I did okay with that.
Did you have people that you wanted to be when you were younger? Again, TV, radio, whatever.
I wanted my hair to look like Lily Tomlin's in Raising, or in Grace and Frankie and Grace.
Yep.
Just the waves of gray.
Yep.
I wanted that. Um, I've always said that Sandy Toksvig is my big sister who doesn't know me.
Okay.
I admire her so much because she is so frighteningly intelligent and
Mm-hmm.
knows so many dumb facts. And I always kind of wanted to be that person. But that's a real person, that I
Yeah.
wanted to be like. And I wish I looked like Helen Mirren,
Okay.
if
Okay.
that counts at all. It's hard to find role models that I enjoy because I'm a Virgo, so I sift out the faults in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always felt challenged with friendships for that because, and I found I hold people at an arm's length sometimes for that because I'm
Yes.
afraid if I get too close to them, I'll find something I don't like. And that's
That's very
stupid.
logical,
It,
but
it's
it's
also
logical.
stupid and rude because there's so many people out there with so much to give. And I know that my presupposition that they've got something that's going to be a deal breaker for me is not fair, but I still have it. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't just make that up out of raw cloth. I mean, I had a number of friendships where I really invested heavily
Mm-hmm.
and recognized years in that I never really knew that person, and I was really relating to an image I had of them, of what I thought they were.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
was really painful. And that became really a deal for me on the political arena in the last couple of years too. And that was really hard.
Yeah.
And it's not that I need everybody to believe like I do, but when they are so vehemently shitty about it,
Yes.
it's really hurtful, and that becomes something that I can't have in my world.
Yeah.
Again, not that I need them to agree with me. I need them to not be assholes.
Yes.
And in
should
the
be easy.
past many years, we've had, I'd say 10 years or so, we've had people just showing their asses politically. And that's just really discouraging. And again, I don't like to get too deeply into politics, but I mean, that's a reality of our life right now.
Yes.
So yeah, I do hold people off because I'm afraid to get to know them better. I know amazing people, don't get me wrong, but maybe they're amazing because I don't know them all that well.
Well, you've got acquaintances, colleagues, outer circle, and the heart circle, the inner
I
circle,
do have an
correct?
inner circle. Yeah, and you're
But
part
that's
of that.
thank you. It's
Yeah.
very mutual. Um, Basically, if I'll take a reading from somebody, they are, you know,
Well, one thing that's of value, putting this out there, without your permission, is that
yes.
you and I have had our skirmishes and came back
Hmm.
from it. And to
Yes.
me, it's like, okay, well, all right, we did that. We're good now. You know,
Hmm.
we were able to see each other at some of our worst times, and we're here. We're still here. We're still friends, and that makes me really happy. That makes me feel more secure with you than somebody that I've never walked that valley with.
Because you
Does
don't
that
know
make
where the
sense?
pitfall is. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. And frankly, when you and I clashed and separated out, I looked at what made it happen.
me too.
You know, I'm very used to being friends with people and then they decide that I'm not what they thought and they leave. So I'm not used to people coming back or staying.
Yeah,
Um,
same here.
so when you find someone like that, you hold on to them with two hands and
Absolutely.
a foot.
Absolutely. And I'd always hoped that we would reconnect. It didn't take us too long. I was glad that we were able to reconnect and with a
I sent
greater
you a
depth.
pig.
Huh?
I sent you the pig Buddha. That was it.
But it was just, that we were able to connect on a deeper level even than
Hmm.
before, which I enjoy. I think it's because we knew each other better. And what is that about? That's about letting people in. It's about letting people see you and be seen
Hmm.
and saying, no, I still really like you. So it's as though you pass the test, therefore you get to be in the inner heart circle.
The other thing is, if you have this problem, it is important that you not just say it's all their fault. You have to look inside and say,
Do.
was there anything in me that fractured it?
What's really hard is when you have the tendency to believe it's all you, that you must have been
Hmm.
the one who did it all, that
Oh,
you
yeah.
screwed up, so you lost the friendship, when it really is just you were banging up against each other's bruises most often
Hmm.
and needing something the other person didn't know how to give or didn't know that you
Yeah.
needed, or so a lot of it's communication too.
Yes. There are some friends, and you and I have discussed the one that you love them dearly, but you will always be skew lines. You're not even on the same plane. And
Right.
sometimes you have to love them and leave them.
You do. You do. And I've ended friendships. I've been ended before,
Hmm.
so I've experienced both sides of that. There It's that old saying, if you love something, set it free, blah blah blah. I don't think I have had any relationships end and not rebound
Hmm.
that I'm grieving now.
Oh,
I
that's
think I'm
good.
I think I'm okay with the ones that passed, and there were a lot. I had just bam 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 bam. And
Hmm.
that was one of the reasons that, when you and I were struggling, it hit so hard, was because I had had this series of really important friendships. And I'm talking, these people were my sisters that just went off the ledge. And the common denominator was me. And so I'm doing all this huge self reflection and trying to figure out how I can shift and everything. And Eric just finally said, you know what? It is you. And it's because you ignore bad behavior in other people just to continue to be friends with them, and you hang out with shitty people. And
Blunt.
I rejected that immediately. Just,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. But the more I
Hmm.
thought about it, was the way that I was treated by those people. I watched them do that to other people. And I just believed that I was so sacrosanct that that would never happen to me, when
Yeah.
really it was inevitable. And
And
they were broken. They were reacting from their own damage too.
mhm.
but I was okay with those relationships ending, and I still
Yeah.
am.
Yeah. And to flip it, there's some people who immediately assume it's everybody else but not them. Their aura don't stink, as I
Hmm.
say. And it's important that you see that's what they think. It isn't you. It is that they
Hmm.
cannot see that they are part of the equation.
And when you are the witness to those things,
Mm-hmm.
you do start to think it must be me. It must be
Of
me
course.
because this keeps happening to me. And no, it's
Mm-hmm.
just that you're the kind of person that tolerates that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets to be your turn.
Yes.
And so I've noticed too that those people that went away or that the relationship ended are the people you've described who would never believe it could have anything to do with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm good with where I am. I have wonderful friends, as we can tell from this interview process. I mean, I've been interviewed some of the most amazing people, and they're all people I feel close to. And I'm just, I'm like you. I'm grateful.
Absolutely. No other
I'm
word for it.
definitely quality over quantity right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because the quantity out there is the quality is forget it. And the quantity is how do you know your friend is an AI? I mean, these days it's kind of like that.
Sometimes I want a friend who's a
But they have to have the right amount of fingers.
right. If I'm even looking at their fingers. But yeah, I mean it's definitely about the quality over quantity and just being able to trust people and be authentic with them and show up
Mm-hmm.
authentically for them and feel like they're doing the same for me, then I'm okay. And I
Yeah.
found the deepening of connection working in that way rather than trying to pursue people who really have shown me they don't want to be friends with me. They don't want to be close to me. And I'm there tugging on their skirt tail going, why not? Why not? Why not? What's wrong with me? They might be perfect friends for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those people with the relationships that ended with me are probably great friends for somebody else. And
That's
I'm
right.
I'm okay with that. I bless them and send them on. I don't wish any of them anything but the most wonderful opportunities and situations ever. I'm just glad they're not in my life.
Yeah. And frankly, if they didn't tell you why, fine. The universe said you didn't need to know. You only find out if the universe says, you might want to work on this piece. So if they
And
didn't tell you, great, you were perfect.
well, in being who I am, I just pursued the hell out of that. I had to know because I had to know my accountability in it. And so I'm grateful I don't have that anymore and don't do that anymore.
Makes life a little easier.
It does. You make my life easier. Thanks for being with me in
Yeah,
this world and walking this walk with me.
yeah, we need each other. You know, we
Agree.
elders need each other, and the elders, not the boomers. That's the difference.
Thanks for being here with me today.
You betcha.
Appreciate you. See you later. Bye, everybody.